All right, welcome to MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Our final edition of Game Time Live presented by Verizon. Larry Michael, Brian Tinsman. A rainy day here at the stadium. In fact, a big weather storm headed into this area. It's raining in D.C., I know, and up here in New York, a big weather system coming through, so we should have rain throughout the whole game today.
And they should have plenty of practice. This will be the third week in a row that they've had inclement weather. They had snow 2 weeks ago, rain last week, and it's going to be a 100% chance of rain at kickoff today. So very wet conditions. This is a different field surface than they are used to. This will be a little bit better, hopefully, for the footing out there. And hopefully they can get guys like Pierre Garcon, Aldrick Robinson, guys that rely on their speed, get going today.
Redskins looking to break a 7-game losing streak, as we know. The last 2 games, however, have been pretty competitive. Obviously, the Redskins losing by a point in Atlanta, and last week losing by a point to the Dallas Cowboys. The Giants open with 6 straight losses. They've gotten their act together, 6-3 since then. They're 6-9. But Eli Manning's had a horrible year this year. 26 interceptions. In fact, he's rated 36th in the NFL, and there is only 32 teams. So that shows you how tough it's been for the quarterback of the Giants this year.
Not only that, but the offensive line just isn't doing a great job of blocking for him. 38 sacks, of course, countless more hits than that. And he's a guy who just, he's been put under duress a lot this season. And, of course, he's a guy that historically makes mistakes when they don't protect for him. So you got to be looking at a guy like Ryan Kerrigan. If Brian Arakpo's not ready to go tonight, it's going to be a guy like Rob Jackson, Ryan Kerrigan, that are going to have to get after him, going to have to create pressure.
I want to make send a message out to all of Redskins Nation, especially for the fans who have attended the Redskins rallies all season long. Really appreciate all the support on the road, especially. We've had some great rallies so far this year, and we want to thank you for being a part of it, and we hope to continue it in 2014 under some better circumstances. The Redskins 3-12, something unheard of going into the season. No one would have predicted that, but that's where the Redskins find themselves. And tomorrow, the final edition of Monday Morning Roundup presented by Verizon. Chris Cooley, Chris Russell are going to wrap it up. A live show on Redskins.com, and it's a tough show to do after a loss. That's happened 7 straight weeks, Brian.
I know, and when you talk about the second half of the season, there was a lot of anticipation, obviously, after last year that they were going to be able to have that kind of second-half run that propelled them into the playoffs. They haven't gotten a win yet. And, obviously, you'd love to finish out the season on a high note. You'd love to not have that 8-game losing streak heading into next season. There's a lot of hope for 2014. It really starts today. It really starts this afternoon. They have to get some sort of momentum building into the offseason. Very critical offseason for this team.
All right, Brian, thank you so much. Great job this year. And you can check Brian out on Redskins.com. He's got some great stuff coming up today. Obviously, the season ends. I'm going to ask Gabe Hyatt, Redskins blogger, to step in. Right here, Gabe. You're going to stand in the rain in that nice suit.
Yeah, it's really wet out here, but I think it's going to be a good day for the Redskins. This has been such a tough season for everyone to endure. It'd be a great way to send out on a victory for players that a lot of them aren't going to be playing together next year. And for me, I'm looking for a big day from Alfred Morris. We all know how he finished off the season last year against the Dallas Cowboys. Rainy conditions is what you love to see from a running back. So I think that's what we're going to see here today.
That's Alfred walking up the did you time that well or what? A couple of reminders, Redskins Connect, the best way to follow the game and connect with the Redskins like never before. This new app features an arcade where you can actually play along with today's game and earn points when you can call the play correctly. Now available to download for iPhone, iPad, and Android. Get that soon. And Redskins desk site, Redskins Nation, do you hear about the Redskins desk site? You can get a customized desk site with all the Redskins video. It's incredible. Go to redskins.com/desk site to check that out. And again, a rainy day here at the Meadowlands. The Giants wrapping up the season, not going to the playoffs. Redskins wrapping up the season, not going to the playoffs. And for you, your first year with the Redskins, this has been challenging, hasn't it?
Sure. I mean, it's always harder to cover a bad team, but I think you get to know who the guys really are, and you hear the coaches and the players talk about all the time. Everyone can be happy and be professional when things are going well. How do you step up and respond when things are going poorly? So, again, I think today is a perfect example of that. Not the perfect weather you want to see, not where you want to be in your season, but if you look at just isolating this week, you have an opportunity to go out and beat a division rival. So what's better than that?
And you're doing something special today. You're going to be following London Fletcher. He's got those special custom-made number 59 shoes. And while London will say there is a small possibility he will return, this is going to be London Fletcher's last game in the NFL, and you're going to be following them all day.
Sure. So, I expect to see the same things we always see out of London. A lot of intensity, a lot of professionalism and class. It'll be interesting to see which Giants come and pay their respects. But, yeah, just incredible career. It's going to be his 256th straight game he's played in, 216 straight start.
All right, Gabe, appreciate it very much. Thank you, sir, and we'll see you a little bit later. All right, some of our keys as we wrap up this edition of a Redskins Game Time Live presented by Verizon. Redskins got to find a way to play a 60-minute game. We haven't seen it all season long. You've seen a lot of miscues by the special teams. To have a perfect special teams performance today would go a long way to helping this team win and break a 7-game losing streak. Focusing in on 60 minutes, though, with all that's been talked about and the speculation on what's going to happen in 2014, it's really going to test the Redskins' mental game here today. Who will be ready to play, especially on a very rainy day when there's really nothing but pride to play for. Turnover is going to be a key on a rainy day like this. And special teams, again, the Redskins, every week it seems, they have a botched special teams play. Need a perfect game today to beat the Giants on the road here at the Meadowlands, as the Redskins also look for their first NFC East victory of the season. Like to get it today at 1 o'clock. I want to thank the crew, Alex, Luke, Jen Hinkle especially, Brian, Gabe, Chris Russell, who's been with us. James Johnson showed up for the final show. I don't know where he's been all year, but I want to thank you so much for tuning in to Game Time Live presented by Verizon. Enjoy the game, and we'll see you in 2014.